Hey YouTube, this is DW1319. It's my first video, really. Just trying things out, and today I'm just gonna rant about Dolphins football, the defense, the offense, what the draft had in store, and the week one coming up versus the Falcons. I think is gonna be a pretty good game. I think the Falcons bring a lot of presence to the field. I think they have a lot of gifted players on each side of the ball. Matt Ryan's definitely a heck of a player. I think White's an incredible player. I think John Abraham, he's still got it. I mean, he's getting up in age, but he's still in his prime, I believe. But back to Dolphins football. I guess I'll start off with quarterbacks. I love Chad Pennington, I really do. He really did bring some presence last year, but I believe it's about time for Henning to take over, because nothing against Pennington, because I think he was a great move to the Dolphins. He was a key role in getting us to the playoffs last year, no doubt at that, but I think Henning is our franchise quarterback. Pennington's going to have a good year, and I know experts say that his arm isn't the greatest in the world, but I mean, he's pretty accurate. I mean, he gets his first downs, and I'm not going to complain about that. I think Henning's going to bring more of the downfield passes, just looking at preseason and who he connected to and such. And the whole other story is Pat White. Honestly, I'm not much of a college football guy, but what I saw, Pat White's really impressive. He's very versatile and very fast. I think pretty soon you'll see him being used more. I think he will help out with the Wildcat later on that, but I mean, he'll do fine, I believe. Let's move to running backs. So we have Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams. First of all, I think Ronnie Brown's starting to emerge as one of the better running backs in the league. He's only 6 years in the league. Sorry if I'm wrong on my years. I mean, don't criticize me, but like I said, I think he's an emerging star. He's getting better every year. And we all know Ricky re-signed for another year and more than likely is retiring as a Dolphin. And I think Ricky's going to have another good year. He looked very good in preseason as well. Patrick Cobb's our third down back a lot of the times. He's looking great too. I would love to see him stay in Miami for another 5-6 years, but who knows, considering Brown's contract is going to be up sooner or later. And then you got like Hilliard out of Montana. He brought some presence in the preseason, but the last preseason game he kind of got dinged up and he didn't show as much, but hopefully the Dolphins can use him in some creative way, because I liked what I saw from him. And you can't really say much about the fullback. I mean, I think the fullback's becoming obsolete in the league, but I think Lusarko Polite still has an important role on the team. Wide receiver core. I've heard a lot of heat about our wide receiver core. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, honestly. I mean, we have a very young core that I think can really do something in the years. I hear more trash about Ted Ginn Jr. than I hear about T.O. sometimes. I mean, that's exaggerated, but still, I mean, honestly. I think, honestly, Ted Ginn is a phenomenal athlete. He can run routes phenomenally. He's quick as all get out. Not as fast as Hester, but still, he's one of the faster guys in the league. His hands, they've got better since he's been drafted. But I'm going to look at about 900 yards this season, 3 touchdown catches. I think Camarillo is going to have another good season. I noticed in preseason when he caught the 57-yard pass, I think it was from Henning or Pennington. I can't remember which game that was, but that he had lost a lot of his speed after he tweaked his or had his injury last year. And I hope that's not too much of a concern, because he's a big possession receiver for us, but I think he'll do pretty well, honestly. I think he'll have about a 700-yard season. Now, the person I'm looking at this year to have a pretty good season, big season, is Best. Best is like Yin. He's really fast. He can cut routes. His hands aren't the greatest, but I've noticed he will fight for yardage. he will get every inch he can. So, I mean, I think Bess is going to have a pretty good season. I think it's going to be around 650 yards. And I think our two rookies that we picked up, that we kept, Patrick Turner, like all the experts say, I think he's a great red zone threat. He can get us tough yardage, 10, 15 yards at a time. And I think Hartline is really going to do something. And he looked really good in the preseason. I'm hoping that's just a sparkle of what really he can do. So let's move to the offensive line. How about our number 1 overall draft pick, Jake Long? Like I said, I think I haven't said it yet, but I think he's one of the best left tackles in the NFL. He's just going to get better. He's only a second-year left tackle, and he's already showed that he's an elite in the league. Justin Smiley, he's done very well for himself. I think he'll continue to prosper. I think Jake Grove was a huge addition for us. Let's just hope he stays healthy. He's known for his run stopping, not really his pass stopping. Donald Thomas, I'm surprised they started him over Sean Murphy. Not to be, I don't know if y'all like Thomas over Murphy. I thought Murphy did a good job last year when he played for a few downs and a few games, but it's coach's call, not mine. I think Vernon Carey, he's one of our seasoned veterans. He'll do pretty well this year. I don't see anything that he will do wrong. I think he'll do well. Now, the tight end position was kind of weird for me. It was surprising when I heard about Martin, and the coaching staff decided to go with Fasano, Hanos, and now Bone. Well, I know Hanos, all ACC runner-up, honorable mention, tight end. I mean, he's pretty big. I mean, I hope he really does well. 6'8", like 270. And Fasano, I think, is going to have another great season. I'm hoping our tight ends step up and these young guys really do something. Hopefully I'll have enough time to go over everything else. Okay, let's start on our left end. Kendall Langford and Philip Merling. Both the young guys, I think they're really going to do well. Merling showed what he was drafted for last year. He picked off Favre in the AFC Championship game. I mean, that was our awesome pick. He ran that back. And Langford, he's been looking even better year after year. I mean, you can't really... These guys are just going to get better. They're young and good. Now, I've noticed our nose tackle, Ferguson, he's getting old and up in age, but I'm hoping Paul Solai, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, but I really hope he steps up this year. And he looked pretty good in preseason, got a few sacks, but I mean, I think it's a position we need to work on, get some young legs in there. And then we have right end. We have Randy Starks, and I think he'll bring something to this team. I mean, I'm doing a 3-4 defense right now, just if you're wondering. And I think Starks will have an average season, nothing too out of the extraordinary. Let's go to linebacker. How about Jason Taylor? Jason Taylor, I'm glad he's back. I've been a Dolphins fan ever since he was drafted from Akron. So, I mean, I remember when Jason was drafted and all that. I think he'll have a pretty good season. We have so much talent on the defensive end, and I think Quentin Moses will step up too. I saw a good bit of flash from him in the preseason. I'm going to cut the video right here because I'm about to run out of time on my recording. DW 1319, I'll come back with the other part of my Dolphins analysis and the season outlook, and look for part 2.